After years of rumors and speculation, we're gonna finally be hearing about the Xbox Scorpio specs sometime this week. Even though I have no desire to buy another Xbox console for reasons that should be blindingly obvious, I'm somewhat interested in finding out how well the system will handle high fidelity titles. I specifically mentioned high fidelity as opposed to actual performance because we all know games on this system will still be running at 30 frames per second. Devs using gaming hardware to enhance performance, thereby enhancing the gameplay, is a goddamn pipe dream from a long forgotten era of gaming. I'd sooner see $1 million returns on shares in terrestrial radio than console games running at a half decent frame rate. Of course, if we do end up finding out the raw specifications for the Xbox Scorpio this week via Digital Foundry, I expect one of two reactions to occur, where said reactions are contingent upon which console the person in question likes. If the Xbox Scorpio ends up being a 4K powerhouse, which I highly doubt, Xbox fanboys won't shut the fuck up about it for months, despite repeatedly claiming that resolution doesn't matter at all. And Sony fanboys will turn around and claim that the resolution doesn't matter, despite making a big deal about resolutions for the last few years. If the Xbox Scorpio is what I think it will be, an overhyped console with very few 4K native titles, the reaction I just outlined will flip. Regardless of the specifications of the Scorpio, or more importantly, what games will be on the system, a large number of people will make fools of themselves this week. In the wake of this vapid stupidity, you can either laugh at their moronic behavior or bang your head against the wall until you fracture your skull. Or both. As much as I'd like to continue talking about the console war, I think a more worthwhile use of our time would be to talk about the Xbox Scorpio and its potential place in the current gaming landscape. PC gaming is more popular than it's ever been, and the market is far more relevant than the Xbox One. Undeniable statement. I know certain individuals would like to suggest otherwise, presumably because they just got out of a DeLorean from 1985, but currently speaking, PC gaming is king. When it comes to playing games at 4K, your only option at the moment is to get a PC. I'm not talking about upscaled, which is basically a fancy word for 1080p stretched to fit a 4K display. I mean 4K native. Unless you'd like to refute that irrefutable thing I just said, the Xbox Scorpio is directly competing against PCs. The way I see it, in order for the Xbox Scorpio to compete against PC gaming, it needs to satisfy three criteria: offer superior performance compared to most high-end PCs, cost less than the equivalent PC, and offer games unavailable on competing platforms. Already, the Xbox Scorpio ain't doing so well. The Xbox One no longer has exclusive games. Fuck off with that console exclusive shit. As it stands, there are only multi-platform games on the Xbox One, and I doubt that will change over the next year. As a PC gamer, in terms of the games themselves, otherwise known as that thing that actually matters, I have zero incentive to buy a Scorpio. Every game on the Xbox Scorpio will be available on my PC, except I don't have to pay to access online multiplayer on my computer. Not a great sales proposition so far. However, for people who really care about graphics, in order for the Xbox Scorpio to offer value, the majority of games released on the Scorpio need to run at 4K native, and it needs to be a relatively compromise-free experience, i.e. equivalent to max or high settings on PC and preferably 60 frames per second. Do I think the Xbox Scorpio will offer native 4K 60fps games at max settings? Fuck no, not gonna happen. Do I think the Xbox Scorpio will offer native 4K 30fps games at max settings? Yeah. I also think elephants eat chrome-tinted marshmallows. Do I think the Xbox Scorpio will offer 4K native 30fps games with some kind of graphical compromise? Maybe, and I'm not even sold on that. So given that the sort of person who cares about high-end gaming hardware will likely care a great deal about graphics and performance, is it a stretch to suggest that the Xbox Scorpio probably won't appeal to this demographic? Again, I know these are assumptions, but these are logical assumptions. These are educated guesses. Based on what we currently know, and based on the modern gaming landscape, I very much doubt that the Xbox Scorpio will be capable of running new games at 4K native without significant visual or performance compromises. However, I'm willing to give Microsoft the benefit of the doubt to a certain degree and grant the possibility that maybe the Xbox Scorpio will be powerful enough to support modern titles running at 4K native. However, the only way I can see this happening is if the Xbox Scorpio costs a lot of money. A lot of money. 4K gaming is not that easily attainable right now. Unless you enjoy playing games at 6 frames per second, your standard mid to high range PC isn't going to be running Battlefield 1 at 4K. Currently, the best GPU on the market for gaming at 4K without running SLI is an NVIDIA GTX 1080 Ti. It is a very impressive card. Obviously, there's variation in the performance depending on the game, but based on Digital Foundry and Linus Tech Tips benchmarks, it's capable of running games like The Witcher 3 and For Honor at 4K 60 FPS on ultra settings. It costs $800. It's certainly not the only 4K capable GPU on the market. The regular 1080 can achieve good results at 4K, but you get the point. If you want to play games at 4K, you better have a thick wallet. Even taking into account cost reductions due to manufacturing deals and mass production, there's no fucking way that the Xbox Scorpio will be running games at 4K native unless it costs over $800. And that's a conservative estimate. At a price like that, no casual gamers will want to buy the console, and a lot of PC gamers would probably just wait for a sale on Amazon to buy the 1080 Ti for cheaper, keeping in mind that performance is but one of many advantages to PC gaming. Unless the Xbox Scorpio is going to be sold for significantly less than an equivalent PC, which means it would be sold at a substantial loss, which means they're not going to do that, the Xbox Scorpio will either be too expensive or not powerful enough. It remains to be seen, but I'm going to place my chips on the ladder. There's nothing wrong with selling a console only slightly more powerful than the base system. I mean, it's dumb, and the people who think PC gaming is crap, yet gleefully saunter out of the store holding a PS4 Pro are oblivious fucksticks. But it's fine, it's whatever, it's just a whatever console, it's there, it's no big deal. However, the big difference between the PS4 Pro and the Xbox Scorpio is that the latter has been hyped as the second coming, as some kind of monolithic console, the likes of which we've never seen. It just sounds like bullshit. And do you honestly think everything Microsoft has said about the Scorpio thus far is true? Really? There's an expectation that this thing is going to be an incredibly beefy console, and I just don't think that's going to happen. I don't think it's going to be as powerful as people are trying to make it out to be. Here's the thing. I'm making this video understanding that I could be totally wrong, and that's fine, because I haven't been repeatedly parroting Microsoft PR and Xbox fanboy lies for the past year. As somebody who has no stake in Microsoft's success or failure, why would I dedicate time to do what is effectively free advertising for a system that I don't want? For anybody looking to call me a pessimistic asshole because I don't trust what I'm being told by Xbox fanboys, feel free to remind me about all those Xbox games taking advantage of the cloud. Remember when that was a thing? It's funny how Xbox fanboys have conveniently forgotten about that. It's almost like you were wrong from the start, but Pepperidge Fringy remembers.